Hello, this is Dr. Nate Lambert, and I just want to congratulate you for taking some action and watching this video. I'd love to invest with you, make some money together. If you haven't invested in real estate before, this is going to be an amazing opportunity for you. There's so much money in real estate, and my goal today is really just to show you my system and show you how your money's going to be safe and how you'd be foolish not to take advantage of this great opportunity. So let me just again first start by saying how powerful of an investment tool that real estate really is. In fact, the wealthy 1% of the wealthy 1%, 74% became wealthy through business ownership and real estate investing. So they often go hand in hand, by the way. So, this is an incredible decision. I'd love to make it happen. Let me show you kind of my system. Essentially, guys, there's two core elements of real estate investing. So obviously you got to have money, right? Without money, we can't buy deals, and then you got to have someone to do all the running around and the legwork to make it all happen. And there's a lot that goes on, believe me. Some people have asked me, well, God, Nate, if you're such a successful investor, why aren't you using your own money to invest? Well, I do, but there's two reasons. For one, if I only used my own money, there would be a limited amount of deals that I can do. As I partner with other people and utilize other people's money, there's an unlimited amount of deals. Ultimately, it's just limited by my systems that I've put in place as to how many deals that I can do. The second reason is because I like to keep a lot of my money and put it in life insurance, cash reserves, so that, in case of a rainy day, I can cover any expenses that I need to, which I think you're going to be glad that I have that kind of policy, because I want to keep you safe as the money partner in this transaction. So let me first of all explain to you a little bit of my role, what that work entails for me, so that you can see what my side of the job is going to be, and then I'll tell you about your side, and we'll talk about how you can protect your money, and I'll show you some examples of some of the deals, and then what other people have said about the deals that I've done with them. So I have a 3-step systems process. My first step, that again requires a lot of systems, is acquiring a house on seller financing. And I'll talk a little bit more about seller financing in a minute. Second is that I fix it up, rehab it. And then third, I sell the house on seller financing. So let's start with step 1, acquiring the house on seller financing. So again, just to find the deal is probably one of the hardest parts in the transaction. So you want to get a really good deal that's going to make both me and you money. So that's, challenging. I have a whole team of door knockers out knocking doors, finding out who's motivated and who maybe has a distressed house or just a situation where they need to get some debt relief immediately, and we help them out. I've got teams of callers who are calling people who are selling their house, or again, targeting people who maybe have problems that they need to solve. So I've got systems and teams of, and I'm managing all these systems that are drumming up these deals. Okay. Then I go in and, they set up the appointment for me. I go in and negotiate the deal. I sit with the seller and I come up with a win-win. And obviously I'm getting a good deal, but it's also a win for them. I'm not taking advantage of these people. In fact, but it's taken a lot of training and sales training. I've spent over $100,000 on my sales and real estate education and training, so that I can close these deals effectively. So the next step is, like I mentioned, oftentimes we're going to come in and help someone who's about to lose their house. Maybe they're 4 or 5 months behind. It's going to the auction. They're going to lose everything, and they've waited too long. It's too late to sell. So I come in with a solution. Hey, let me catch you up. Let me help you to avoid this foreclosure. so that it doesn't go on your record for 7 years, right? And then I give them some money to get back on their feet, to go find an apartment to live in, to give them a fresh start in their life. So I felt really good about that, because the bank wasn't going to give them anything, and now I'm getting them back on their feet, and in exchange, they give me the deed to their property. They do stay on the mortgage, however. They stay on the mortgage, and this is a way I can acquire multiple properties without even using a bank. It's great. So many advantages, both to me and to the seller who I help. I really feel like it feels good to just know that I'm helping a lot of people with my business model. Second step is that I rehab the property. Now, let me just tell you this. It's hard to find good labor in today's society, because the labor is in such high demand. So much is going on. The economy's hot. And so I've put a power team together, people who are working hard, who are getting the job done for as cheaply, as inexpensively as possible. And so I manage these guys and make sure they're doing everything right, and manage all the books and keep everyone honest, checking on the properties. I have a project manager. I have teams of workers. So that's a lot to manage. But and again, what we try and do is make it look livable. We don't necessarily do a full and complete remodel. We want to keep the cost down for you and for me. So we make it good enough to sell, and then we sell the house on seller financing. Now, I've been a realtor now for about 4 years, and I've developed some incredible contacts. People who have all sorts of people they know who need seller financing. This is my power team of realtors. Okay, again, a lot of these people that they represent are undocumented immigrants that can't qualify for a bank loan because they just have a TIN number, or other people maybe with poor credit. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people can't qualify for a bank loan, and I've connected with all these people. I'm part of the biggest mastermind group of seller financing. So I've invested in these relationships, and these people are bringing me buyers, which is going to help us get these deals done and get the money flowing. So I put it out there to my team of realtors. They find me a buyer, and here's the great thing about seller financing. If you've heard of the law of supply and demand, there aren't many people willing to finance, right? Give someone the financing without having a bank involved. And so there's very little supply of these houses on the market. And yet there's a huge demand. I mean, think about all the different types and groups of people who need this kind of housing, who are dreaming of home ownership, but can't do it because they can't get it through a bank for whatever reason. And so because of that, we can charge a premium price, usually 10 to 12% above market value, which again gives us a great return. And the other big perk is that we can not only charge a premium price, we can charge a premium interest rate. Because again, maybe we get the house at 3.5%, we take over someone's Joe Blow's mortgage and we sell it to Susie for 6.5%. So that's where we get the cash flow. We become the bank essentially, and Susie just pays us the money. We don't have to worry about toilets, tenants, taxes, or termites. We're just getting a check from Susie every month. We give some to the bank to cover the mortgage. We pocket the rest. You and I will split the rest of Susie's payment to us. So that's how it works. Now, the other thing that helps keep us secure is that I collect large, non-refundable down payments. I've gotten down payments as much as $110,000, $85,000, and this is terrific because it's better than when you rent out the house to someone. They give you maybe $1,000, $1,500 in security deposit. how about 40,000? That's probably my average down payment. Someone gives 40,000, they're much less likely to do damage to the property because they know that they're not going to get that back, right? And then the other advantage is that so we sell it to these new people, and when they sell or refinance, that's when we get the large equity cash outs. We have all this equity in the property, and when they sell or refinance, usually 5 to 7 years in, then that's when you get your money back plus your principal back, right? So that's kind of how it works. And that's when I realized the bulk of my profit. You're going to get your profit all along the way. All right. So, oh, sorry, a little blip there. All right, so the next step is you might be saying, oh, this sounds great, Nate, but there's got to be some risks. What are you not telling us? Well, here's why I love these deals. Look, I would tell you the greatest risk is if the new buyer of these seller finance properties stops making payments. And to me, that's actually almost the best case scenario, because then we get the property back and we can sell it again and get another really big down payment. All right. I guess the biggest risk to you would be that if the new buyer stops making payments and I stop making payments to you. Now, I do have over $100,000 in cash reserves, so that's not likely to happen, but that is probably the worst case scenario. And if that happened, then you would get a property with a ton of equity in it. So actually, that's probably what you would want to have happen. But, you know, there's always risk in real estate, but this model really keeps us both safe. And you're going to be on title with me, so I really try and mitigate the risks for my investor partners. So again, your role in all this is to keep that machine running, keep that furnace going through the money that you provide to make these transactions happen. And I'd love to do multiple deals with you. I think we could have a very profitable partnership. And here's what I'm going to do to protect your money. First of all, we're going to close at a reputable title company. And look, I'm not even going to touch your money. We're going to send it straight to the title company. So that they'll give me a little bit back to do the repairs, but they'll keep most of it, because most of our cost is going to be in catching them up at the bank, in giving them some money to get back on their feet, and closing costs and things like that. And then so you'll send the money to directly to the title company. They'll cut me a little bit of a check to do the repairs. And other than that, I mean, I don't directly touch your money. There's a paper trail, and the title company's going to put you on the title with me in a lien position, equal position to me on a deed of trust, so that, like I say, if the new buyer stops making payments, hey, we'll take care of it together. If the new buyer and me stop making payments, then according to the deed of trust, you can foreclose on me and we're good to go. You get the property with a lot of equity. Okay, so that's how your money's protected. It's super protected. So here's kind of what I'm proposing in terms of the conditions that we would follow. So like I mentioned, your role is to bring in the money. My role is to do all the management, all the headaches, all the keeping track of everything, and I just send you checks. Okay, so you're in a great position. For your position, I'm willing to give you about half of the profit. So again, the average though of your initial investment is going to be between $30,000 and $60,000. That's just the average of what I usually need for these deals. And I'm going to give you a guaranteed annual rate of return. So let's talk about that when you book a call with me, but it's going to be a guaranteed rate. Now, here's why I do that. Like I mentioned, I like to be generous with my investors. I like to give them about half of the profit. I do all the work. I earn my half, believe me, and you get the half for providing the fuel for this fire. So no, I'm not going to burn your money, I promise. You know what I mean. So I like to take the risk, because out of this for you, because, you know, I'm used to the risk. You know, I'm used to things going over budget, or, you know, the unexpected things to happen. And I know that you, as a passive investor, you don't want to get hassled with all of this stuff. If I were in your position, I just want a guaranteed return that's going to come no matter what happens to the property. And so that's why I'm just going to give you a guaranteed rate, and we'll talk about what that rate would be, what would be fair. And so be thinking about that. And I'm taking all the risk. If it goes a little better, I might get a little more than half. If it goes worse, then you might end up making more than I do. So that's just I'm willing to take that risk and just not pass that on to you in any way, shape, or form by giving you that guaranteed rate. So hope you feel good about that. It's a good spot to be in. All right, and then your return begins immediately on the day the money is wired. I'm gonna pay you interest biannually on June 1st and December 1st. If you really want it differently, we can negotiate something. But I just figure, hey, you know, if you get it every month, maybe you'll be tempted to spend it. I want to make it special. June, I pick these dates because June, you might want to go on a family vacation. So it's nice to have a little extra lump sum of cash at the beginning of the summer. And then obviously in December, you know why it's nice to have some extra money coming in December. So that'll be the default. We can negotiate that again if you'd like. Not a problem, but that's kind of what I do with most of my investors. And then, like I mentioned, your principal is recouped when the new buyer sells or refinances the house. And that's usually between 5 to 7 years. So let me just to give you some added feel good about me and working with me, I want to show you that I've done a lot of these properties. I've done a lot of these transactions, and I want to show you some of the numbers. I'm going to show you about the average amount that's been invested, so you get a ballpark of, you know, the kind of properties you're going to see. If you say, yes, I want to invest with you, I'll put you on my list, and along with a lot of other people who are super interested in doing this with me. And, you know, I'll shoot out the numbers, the projections, and what I need from my investor. And then ultimately it's just first come, first serve. Whoever gets back to me, you know, will be my partner on the deal. So I'll tell you what the average on these deals is. I'm going to show you the cash flow. You're going to want to know that, hey, that what I'm making on average is more than enough to pay you your percentage, and your percentage is guaranteed, like I mentioned. So if the new buyer stops making payments, my payments to you continue. They come out of my cash reserves, okay? So that's my guarantee to you. You don't have to worry about the buyer not making his payments. That's something I have to worry about. I'm managing, I'm taking the risk. You just get that guaranteed return. And then the equity. Every property has equity in it, and usually quite a bit. And here's how this protects you. Like I mentioned, the worst case scenario, which in a lot of senses would probably be the best case scenario, is that both the buyer stops making payments and I stop making payments. So in that situation, there's going to be a lot of equity in the property. So if by chance you get to inherit one of these properties, it's going to have plenty of equity in it. So you could either sell it, or you could keep it as a rental, sell it for a great profit, or keep it as a rental, whatever your choice is. But so that's why I'm going to show you the equity in these deals that I've done, so that you can see there's a good safety net to keep your money safe in every transaction. So here's what it looks like. Here's one of the deals that I did in Tooele. $35,000 was required, again, to purchase this house and to rehab it. The cash flow after we sold it is and continues to be $550 a month, and I'm sharing with my partner. And there's $52,000 in equity. So again, if something happened, hey, you inherited over $50,000 in equity. Great spot to be in. This is one I did in Taylorsville. It required $26,000. The cash flow is over $500. There's $46,000 in equity in this one. Sandy seller finance, 41 invested, $450 cash flow, $110,000 in equity. Yeah. Okay, so again, these are the actual deals I've done. This one's in West Jordan. $46,000 was required to, again, purchase this one, all those expenses, and to rehab it. It's cash flowing $634 a month, and it's got $101,000 in equity to keep you safe. Orem, $51,000 invested, $550 a month in cash flow, $98,000 in equity. Great deals. Again, another one in Twill, $35 invested, $600 a month cash flow, $71,000 in equity. So you can see, hey, I got more than enough to cover you and to pay your monthly payment. So your investment and your money is safe with me. One last one, Riverton, $55,000 invested, $580 in cash flow, $84,000 in equity as a safety blanket for you. So, I've partnered with over 35 individuals now, and let me just share with you some of the things that they've said about the experience of partnering with me and getting these monthly checks. It's great for them. So Chucky Teoho of Orem said, Nate showed me how I could nearly triple the rate of return that I was making in my retirement account. He's been great to work with and never missed a payment. He's a man of great integrity. Thank you, Chucky. Kapil Agawar from New York City said, I connected with Nate through the Replace Your Mortgage group and wanted to be a part of what he was doing. Nate took the time to explain all the details of the transaction and showed me how my money would be secure through a trust deed on the property. Nate and I are now looking for another property to do together. I can't wait. So he's one of many people that want to do another one. Gordon Thomas says, I met Nate in high school 22 years ago and have been following his real estate journey with great interest. I've been extremely impressed with what he's been able to accomplish in the past few years, and I reached out to him to see if I could get involved in some way. This has been a smooth and easy process, and I know my money is secure. Thanks, Gordon. From Spokane, Josh Gessel from Bismarck, North Dakota says, I'm a member of the Replace Your Mortgage group, and I wanted to put some of my HELOC funds to work getting a higher interest rate. I invested with Nate in one of his properties, and Nate has never missed a payment. I'm making an incredible, hassle-free return and feel comfortable knowing that my money is secured by real estate. Finally, Mark Bennett from Salt Lake City, Utah says, I have known Nate all my life, and he's always been a reliable and honest guy. When he presented me the chance to make some passive income on my money, I knew he'd make sure my investment was well managed. It's been a fantastic income stream ever since. So hopefully that gives you some confidence. I got a lot more where that came from. I'd love to put you in touch with any of these people if you'd like to talk to them. But here's a couple of, if you're interested, here's a couple of the next steps that we can take. For one, send me an email. Say, Nate, I'm interested. Put me on your list. And my email is, again, NateLambertRealEstate@gmail.com. That's NateLambertRealEstate@gmail.com. All you got to do is say, hey, I'm interested, put me on your list. And just let me know if you have at least $30,000 to $60,000 available to invest or what your timeline might be, okay? Now, you might be saying, well, God, this looks kind of fun to run all these projects. I want to do that. Well, hey, I'd love to train you. The other half of my business is actually coaching and training people to learn how to do these deals and manage them yourself. You can do it for 10 to 20 hours a week. If you can put that much time in, you can learn it. There is a learning curve. I can help you through that. We got a great educational program. I got a video on my website, 20-minute video, www.investwithnatelambert.com. And you can learn more about that opportunity if you want to learn to be an active investor and find these kinds of cool seller finance deals for yourself. Okay, and on that same website, if you have questions or hey, you wanna talk, you're interested but you want to talk some more and get some more of your questions answered, just go to my calendar. So you're going to go to my website, investwithnatelambert.com, and put your info in there, and then you're going to, if you're not interested in the active side, then you don't need to watch the video. You can just click on book a strategy call, and we can just make sure in the notes to indicate that you're interested in being a money partner on a deal, so I can know that that's what you're interested in. And yeah, then we can chat. It's helpful for me. got so many things going on. It's helpful to just have you pick a time that works, and you can reserve part of my time. So, and then finally, like I mentioned, just click the button on to schedule your strategy call on that website, and we can rock and roll. Or you're welcome to shoot me a text too, but in some ways it's easier to just have you book a meeting online, so we don't have to coordinate our schedules as much. You can do all the coordinating online. So guys, I'm super happy if you made it all the way through. This is great. I'd love to make this happen. Start investing with you. You can become like the wealthy 1%, make a bunch of cash through real estate investing. So let's do it together and have a wonderful, terrific day.